Hey, what's up? It's Justin from Mekanix, and I'm here with the team to share a workout with you today that's not only safe, but massively effective in building strength, increasing mobility, and just raising your overall energy levels. The best part about this workout, you can do it anywhere, even from home. Oh, and one more thing. If you have any questions during the workout, if you want to have someone check on your form, if you have questions about modifications to make it a little more challenging or make some parts a little bit easier, if you just have questions about reaching your goals as quickly and efficiently and safely as possible, click the link below, reach out to us. We're more than happy to help, and we're here to support you. All right, let's get to it.
Okay guys, so we're going to start off the workout like we do with all our workouts with 2 to 3 minutes of blood flow. And if you guys have like jump rope or a piece of a cardio equipment at home, you can use that for 2-3 minutes, or we can just cycle through this little sequence that I'm going to demonstrate right now. So first we're going to start with some jogging on the spot, so really light on our toes, and we're just going to down side to side, and then you can alternate through this. So we go bouncing side to side, then we'll go foot kicks. Just bring the heels up towards the back of your butt. Then we'll go into high knees. And then we can cycle through our jumping jacks. And then take it back down again and cycle through that. So like 20 seconds on each one. And then just keep alternating for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay guys, so to start off we're going to go through some flexibility and mobility stuff, get into our strength warm-up, and then we're going to go straight into our lower body and athletic conditioning lower body work. So to start we're going to go with hip circles. So we're just going to try and get a nice stance, so maybe slightly wider hip width, and then we're just going to circle out. Try and exaggerate the circle in both directions. We'll go 5 to the right, then we can switch and go 5 to the left. Then we'll go single leg hip circle, so we can pull our knee up as high as possible. We're going to rotate out, back down. So try to keep controlled tension, brace through the abs, squeeze on as high as possible, lift and back in. So we're trying to get 5 on this leg, 5 on the opposite leg, up as high as possible again, abs stay braced, get a bit of balance work in as well. We rotate, open out, back down, touch the heel up, back up again, and down. So we'll get 5 and 5 on them, and then we're going to move into some internal rotation of our hip, and we're going to get through some hip work. So we're going to sit down on the floor, and we're going to come to sit down on our butt, and then we're going to do a couple seated, and then we're just going to lift our butt up off the floor or come into a squat position to make it a bit harder. So we're just going to move one hip at a time. So we're going to come down, touch, change sides, touch. We're working internal rotation of the hip. Then from there, we're going to either lift our butt up off the floor and add a bit of a deficit, working the same thing, or we can go into the squat position and then add the internal rotation from there, which is a bit more difficult. And whichever variation of that one you're doing, it's going to be 5 each side on that then as well. And then our last one is we're going to do we're going to go into a runner's stretch and then a reverse plank from there as well. So our runner's stretch, we're just going to be in the plank position. Going to bring our right foot up in line with our right hand. We're going to hold that stretch, feel that big stretch, and then we'll add some rotation. So we get that T-spine rotation. We'll get both sides of that, so one on the right, one on the left. Feel that big stretch, stay down into it. Get that thoracic rotation again. And then from here, we're just going to sit forward and we'll get some reverse planks in. And we're going for 5 each side on this one as well. And so we'll start off with, we'll go 5 actually through the middle. And once we get 5 through there, then we're going to add a reach. So up to this side, reach up to the opposite side, and then once we get cycled through all that, then we'll go into our strength warm-up. Okay, so we finished our blood flow and our first bit of mobility and flexibility work. So we're going to get into our strength warm-up and move through some movement patterns that we're going to use in our main strength and conditioning, athletic conditioning phase. So the first movement we're going to do is we're just going to do bodyweight squats. And we're just trying to move through our full range of motion if we can. So wherever you're comfortable with, so it doesn't have to be like hip width or wider than hip width, whatever squat pattern you're comfortable with, you can use to warm up. So we're just going to sit down nice and low. You can pause if you want to add more tension, draw it back up. Pause if you want to add more tension, draw it back up. And then we're just going to go through 5 to 10 reps on our bodyweight squats. Then we're going to go through a step through lunge, and we're going to work a unilateral movement. So step through lunge is basically just a forward lunge and a reverse lunge together. So we're going to do 5 each leg on this. So it's going to be step through to your forward lunge, all the way back to your reverse, and that's 1 repetition. So we're going to do 5 on the right, 5 on the left. So 1, that's 1. Hold, step through, that's 2. So like that, that's our step through lunges. Then we're going to single leg glute bridge raise to get some posterior chain warming up, and we're going to go single leg. So right leg is going to be out on this one, and then I'm going to drive through and extend through my hip on my left leg. Squeeze my glute at the top, back down. Drive through, extend, back down. Get 5 on my left. You can pause and squeeze your butt at the top, and just for an added bit of tension as well, make sure our glutes and hamstrings are getting fired up. And then 5 on the right leg. And then last one, we're just going to do a couple of jump squats just to make sure we're ready to go for our first bit of work. So we're going to come down, pause, explode up, back down, explode up, back down, and we're just going to do 5 to 10 reps of that. 1 round should be enough to get you going, or if you really want, you can add an extra round in as well. Then we'll get straight into our first bit of strength work. Okay, so our first bit of conditioning work for our lower body athletic conditioning, all of this we need 0 equipment, so we can definitely do this at home. You just need something to lean up against, and it's going to be super simple, but super difficult as well. So first one we're going to do is jumping lunges, and it's 20 seconds of work. So we're aiming to get as vertical as possible and as explosive as possible before we go into our isometric hold, and then we're going to repeat it back to an isometric hold. So I'll just run through the first 2 exercises, which are going to be repeated back to back. So we're going to go into the lunge position, and like I said, we're going to try and explode up, try and get as vertical as possible, and then we're going to repeat on time. So it's going to be and we're just going to go for 20 seconds of work that. Once we're finished with that, we're going to go into a wall sit. That's going to be our isometric work. We're going to keep our back flat against the wall. If you want, if you're at home and you want to make this a bit more difficult, we're going for 30 seconds work on this one. You can grab something, a bit of weight, and if you have anything weight, if you don't have weight, maybe you can pick up your dog or one of your pets and hold the pet just to add a bit of weight. 30 seconds work on that. Once we're done with that, we jump back up. Then we're going back into our jump lunges, 20 seconds again. And then once we finish that, to finish the set, we go back to the wall sit, but this time to finish, we're going to aim for 1 minute. When I say aim for 1 minute, not everybody's going to have the ability to get to 1 minute at the end after all that work, but we're going to work max effort on that, and that will complete our first set on the strength set number 1. Okay guys, so strength set number 2 is just going to be 2 exercises. It's going to be a side shuffle, banded if you have a band. If not, you can just work regular side shuffles. Then we're going to go into jump squats for 5 repetitions, and then we're going to repeat that twice. Then we're going to rest. So your side shuffles, if you do have a band, you can just stick them over your feet. Super fast way to get going on this is just put it over the feet, wrap around, pull, make some tension, come down into the squat position. You can externally rotate as well if you want, turn the feet out, and then we're just going to take big steps on. We're going to take 10 walks out to the left, then we'll go 10 onto the right, and then you should feel your glute switch on pretty quickly on that. After you're finished with that, like I said, if you don't have the band, you can just do the same thing, get down nice and low, work your side shuffles, or if you have a different way of adding some resistance, you can do that. So once we finish the side shuffles, we're down into jump squats, down, We're going to pause for a second, explode up, back down, explode up, back down, working for 5, getting as high as possible, so vertical as possible. Then we go straight back into our banded side shuffles, and then back into the jump squats. So it's those exercises repeated, and then that's going to be 1 full set complete. We're going to do that 3 times. You can take anywhere from like 2 minutes to 3 minutes rest in between each set, or even less if you're feeling good and it's not challenging enough. Or if you want, you can try and make it any way you can a bit more challenging as well. Okay, so to finish with our core conditioning, we're going to try and do 3 exercises. One of them is with a resistance band, and if you don't have the resistance band, don't worry. Instead of doing that exercise, you're just going to leave it out and double the reps on the first 2 and repeat that. So we're going to do a side plank. Ideally we'll do it on our arms so we can increase the full range. If you want, if you have wrist issues or shoulder issues or you have trouble balancing, you can go on your elbow. Basically we're just going to drop our hips to the floor and then overarch at the top and crunch through at the top of the plank. Then we're going to do a Russian twist and what's called a pull-off press. That's going to be our anti-rotation, working a lot of obliques and stabilizers through there. So our first one is going to be our side plank with the overarch at the top. So we're going to be straight arm, like I said, if you can't go elbow, drop the hip to the floor. We're going to push up to neutral, and then we're going to overarch at the top. So that's going to be our crunch. We're going to repeat that, back down, and then we're going to go on to the other side. So once we get that, we're going to try and do 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Then we'll go into Russian twists, and we'll try and do the same thing. If you have the a bit of like weight or added resistance, and you want to do that, if you have medicine balls or kettlebells at home, or even a dumbbell, you can add them in. But we're just going to be in this V position. We're going to try and twist, turn, rotate around. So we're trying to twist trunk rotation as much as possible and reach around. That's the whole idea of our Russian twist. We're going to try and do 5 each side, and then without resistance aren't too difficult, but after the side plank you'll feel your oblique switch on. Then the last one, if you do have a resistance band at home, you can tie it up against anything like a door frame or anything you can, and just try and have it like in line with your chest if possible, against a tree, anything, pole outside, and we're just going to step out until the band wants to pull your torso towards the bar. We're going to extend out. So as we extend out, the band wants to pull you in all the way. What we're trying to do is just resist. You come back in, ease off, press again, and then come back in. So as I'm pressed out, my stabilizers and my obliques are switched on to stop me rotating. And again, after your side plank Russian twist, you really start to get a burn in the obliques and the side of your abs. So we're going to do 5 on one side. It's a unilateral exercise, so you'll only feel it on one side. You swap directions, face the other way, and then do 5 on the other side, and that's going to complete our core conditioning. Alright, so finished all the hard work. We're just going to go through some cool down stretches. And so we'll go through like 4 stretches that should cover most of the stuff we worked on throughout the conditioning work. So one of the first ones we're going to do is a box stretch. It gets our quad, hip flexor, all the front of our hip here, all different muscles through there. So we're trying to have one foot on, bring the knee close to the box, in this foot out in front as well. And then there's a few different ways we can intensify the stretch here. So one, you can push through this hip, so you get a bit more quad and through the front of the hip here as well. We can also squeeze the glute as well. So if I contract my glute on that side as well, I feel a really big pull on that quad and into the hip flexor as well. So we're gonna hold it for like minimum 30 seconds to a minute on both legs. So our box hip flexor stretch, we're gonna start with that one. 30 seconds to a minute. Then we're gonna go either, if you have the ability to do just a pigeon stretch on the floor, and you can do that, or you can use a box. And both of these stretches can be done on a piece of furniture. You can grab a chair, you can do the same thing on a chair, or just a couch at home, and you can do the exact same thing. So we're going to put one foot up, try to bring the knee over, and then we can lean forward, or you can just hold up and then you'll feel that big stretch through the outside of the hip and into the glutes as well. And same thing, we're just going to hold for 30 seconds to 1 minute on one side, and then you can ease off of that and then do the same on the other leg. So nice long static stretches to finish to try and cool down and work on the breathing, get recovered, chill out, get the nervous system back into relaxation mode and recovery mode. And the same thing, so the third stretch is going to be our frog stretch. So we're just going to try and get out into this position, and then we're going to sit our butts towards the heel. So we're pushing down towards the heel. So the whole idea of this is to stretch all the fascia, all the connective tissue in around our hips and our groin area. So sit down, you can go onto your forearms, or if you want, you can come up onto your straight arm as well. So you sit down, push the butt towards the heels, and we're just going to hold, feel that stretch. Again, same time, nice and long, 30 seconds to 1 minute. Easy out of that, come back up. And then our last stretch is just going to be some sort of forward fold or a stretch where you get a posterior chain stretch. And it could be anyway, so you can do a double leg, hinging through the hips, forward folding down, hips or palms on the floor. You can do single leg, hinge through one leg and hold down, stretch one at a time. And we're just going to hold wherever you feel that good stretch through that posterior chain, hamstring, all the way down through there. Just going to hold that for 30 seconds to a minute. And then after that, we're done. That's our athletic conditioning finished. Good work, guys.
If you like this video, hit the like button below. Be sure to share it with your friends or anyone else who might enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel now and follow us on Instagram or Facebook. I'll see you in the next video.